What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are back with another one today. Breaking news. I can't believe I missed this one this morning, but I'm just hearing about it myself. But the NFL is proposing playing just one preseason game in 2020. We're going to talk about what that means. We're going to talk about the truth behind all of this. Y'all just stay tuned. Before we get started, make sure you hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at TDPHINSTALK. Make sure that you check me out on dolphinstalk.com as well, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure that you hit that like button on your way in the room. We're trying to get over 200 likes on every video. One more. What happened? Okay, ask Tony, okay? My bad, y'all. Let me help him real fast. All right, my bad, y'all. All right, we're good now. All right, but yes, man, this changes a lot, man. This changes a lot. I was just telling y'all in the last video, man. Matter of fact, let's go back a few weeks. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all that the NFL right now they're talking about pushing back the training camp day. And I told y'all with the COVID response, what's going to happen is then they're going to talk about preseason reducing it. Then they're going to talk about reducing more preseason. Then they might even talk about pushing back game dates. I told y'all that this would happen. Now we're down to one preseason game. That's the proposal. And the proposals aren't a case of, oh, it didn't go through. Everybody's good with that because let's talk about the truth in all of this, okay? Let's talk about the truth in it. It's so much. You mixing water? No, I'm not mixing water. I froze one, and then I get a bottle that's not frozen, that's hot. And what I do is just so that it can keep staying cold. You see that? I don't know if you can see the ice inside. It's like a big thing of ice. So I just keep on making it cold by mixing it that way. So yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk about the truth. First of all, we need to talk about the impact that this is going to have on the Dolphins. I'll probably do that last so I can get all the other stuff out the way. We got to talk about the impact this is going to have on the Dolphins. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not good. And I'll tell you why, okay? We got to talk about the league, the impact it's going to have on the league. And we also got to talk about the truth and the facts of it all. We got to talk about the truth and the facts of all of this, okay? All right, so let's break it down because there's a lot of information that people don't know. We keep getting these things that say the NFL. Some of this stuff is player-driven too. Let's get that straight now. Some of this is player-driven, okay? And shout out to NFL.com releasing this article. Let me make sure I give credit where credit is due. Kevin Patra, hopefully I said his name right. He's a around the NFL writer. Wrote this article. I love the article. That's why I wanted to share it with y'all because he's spot on with it. And I love the content that he put in. But let's talk about what he talks about because I found after looking up a few more things that everything he said was pretty much factual, okay? So the NFL reduced the number of preseason games it's seeking to be played in 2020. So basically they went from 4 to 2. And now they're proposing to go from 2 to 1, okay? But we need to talk about the whys behind a lot of these. We're going to get there, okay? All right, so if approved, the one preseason game would take place the week of August 27th, ladies and gentlemen. August 27th is the day that would have been the third preseason game for most teams. So if they approve this, August 27th would be that game. Now, what do you mean if they approve it, TD? Did it happen or not? This is what they want, and I think the reason why they want this is they're trying to appease the players. Right now, they're trying to appease the players and meet them in the middle. Today, okay, today there will be a conference call at 2 p.m. with the NFL owners. They're going to have a virtual meeting to discuss outstanding issues as camps prepare to open. This is going to be a vital meeting. We're going to get some information tonight about it, hopefully, or tomorrow. This is the meeting of all meetings. This is going to tell us a lot, okay? But we also need to understand something. It's not that bad that they only want to have one preseason game. It's bad for the Dolphins, and I'll explain to you why. But here's the issue. Here's the most terrible part of it all, besides the Dolphins issues. We're going to get to those in a second. Here's the worst part of it all. Gosh, I hate this. Okay. As the NFL moved off of 2 preseason game desire over the weekend, the NFLPA still wants no preseason games and a longer acclimation period. Let me explain that to you all. First of all, the players don't want any preseason games. The players don't want any preseason games. The NFLPA still wants no preseason games. The players are the NFLPA. They don't want preseason. The league wants preseason. They went from 4 to 2 and now 2 to 1. They're trying to make them happy. Now we're down to 1. Okay? But here's the point that I read that some of y'all that may have went over your head. The NFLPA still wants no preseason games and a longer acclimation period. What is a longer acclimation period, TD? They want more time to get acclimated to the season. Now, I ain't criticizing that. This is just what they want, but I'm gonna tell you how this is. This is tough. This is tough. Holding one preseason game would allow for an extra week of preparation. It really doesn't, because to me, even with the preseason game, you were preparing that week. But prior to games being played, which gets closer to the recommended 21-day rump up of strength and conditioning the players have been seeking, but not fully there. So what's happening, the truth of the matter is this. The players are telling the league, the NFLPA representing the players are telling the league, we want a 21-day rump up period. What is a rump up period, TD? Strength and conditioning. You know, the off-seasoning, you got voluntary workouts, you got all that stuff that really didn't take place. People done it at home and stuff. The players still want a 21-day rump up in strength and conditioning period. They haven't been granted that yet. That's what they're seeking. They're even negotiating now. So let's get down to the math of that. As it stands right now, camp would be about 48 days of training camp. 48 days of training camp. But it's no longer 48 days if 21 of those days are a strength and conditioning period. Now, this was also a recommendation by the Joint Medical Committee. So think about it. Take 21 days from 48. You have 27 days of real training camp. Strength and conditioning is just weight room, y'all walking in, everybody working out, voluntary workouts, involuntary. I don't know if it'll be mandatory. I don't know. They got to figure that out. But 21 out of 48 days, they want to call the acclimation period of just working out. We don't want to practice. Nah, we ain't trying to practice. So it would leave everybody with 27 days of actual training camp. Now, 27 days of training camp, y'all know how training camps are. You don't practice 7 days a week. You pretty much go like 5 of the 7 days that week. So 27, you can say, is 4 weeks. That's really, if you equate it, it's going to be about 20 practicing days. And we know all of them can't be full contact. It's going to be about 20 practice days. Not only 20 practice days, but if you still have that one preseason game, it might even be 18 practice days. It might be, oh my gosh. Imagine 18 practice days starting your season. 18 practice days. in the seasons, and here's your season. That's what we're facing right now. That's the truth of it all. And they're going to talk about it at 2 p.m. today, the NFL owners, on a conference call. Now, those are the facts. That's the truth of the matter. So I don't want people to think it's just the NFL. The players are really the ones proposing less and less and less. You know, the NFL, bottom dollar, we want more and more and more, but they are making adjustments as they go to try to accommodate the players. And this is what we're coming to. And now the negotiations are at, man, we're proposing one preseason game, the third week of preseason. And they haven't gotten a word on the 21-day acclimation period yet that the players are requesting. Give us 21 days to get acclimated where we could work out, we could do this, we could do that. That's what's going down. Now let's talk about the Dolphins and what that means for us. I hate it. 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 We got too many young players, too many rookies, too many this and that. We already talked about one of the things that we hope we don't hurt by this year is their gelling period, their camaraderie. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it for our season. I hate it for our season, man. This is tough to swallow. One preseason game, we ain't getting a good look at nobody. Now, remember, the players are proposing, the NFLPA on behalf of the players are proposing 0 preseason games. This is just where the NFL is right now, one preseason game. For a team like the Miami Dolphins, it's like we're being shut out, the fans. We won't know nothing. We won't know anything. All these players fighting to be starters, we won't know who earns it until game 1 depth chart. It's going to be all these rumors about this guy's looking good and that guy's looking good. But we don't know. They already limiting who can come to camp, and then you can't talk about what happened to camp. We're going to be blinded this season. And the reason why I hate when fans are blinded, there's no accountability from the fan base then. Like when you see obvious things in camp and you're like, why would we be doing this then? There's none of that because we don't know what to criticize or support. It sucks. All these new players on this roster, and we're talking one preseason game. Think about it, one preseason game with the 90-man roster. How can everybody play? What, everybody gonna get 2 or 3 snaps? One series, maybe 2? And that's the end of it? We see no more? Well, they're gonna have to go off of practice. Some of these players aren't even getting reps like that in practice. This isn't good for the Dolphins, y'all. That's the truth. Can't believe I'm about to say this. See, it's stuff like this that makes me jump on the bandwagon of just sit to him. Sit him. It's stuff like this because I don't know come on. This guy gives us the best chance to win. Know he gonna ball out, but everything's so orthodox. It's like, should we even do it? Like, we might as well say we drafted him in 2021 now. It's too volatile. Like, because it's making me feel like if he don't get the nod in camp to be the starter by week 1 of camp, then that ain't enough time for him getting reps. If they don't make the decision in week 1 that he's getting all the starting reps in camp, like literally, you got to go into week 2 of camp. Tua is getting all the reps. Week 2 of camp, he got to get all the reps. But Like, we don't know if that's possible. Some people might think that it is. And yeah, he could be that great, but because he needs to be ready. He needs to be prepared. He needs to be ready for this situation. It's almost like I can't put it on no player on the roster. What if Matt Breida come out there looking like Balaj did last year? We gonna be saying Matt Breida sucked too? What if Jordan Howard come out there looking like Balaj last year? We gonna say he sucked too? It's gonna be so unfair in some situations, man. It's like we gotta hope that everything just works out. Gosh, man. This ain't good for a lot of people. This ain't good for a lot of people. A whole lot of people it's just not good for. We down to one preseason game. That's what's being proposed right now. And what I'm saying to y'all is it's not going back to 2. 1 is the compromise to not have 0. It ain't like, but they can still decide to have 2. No, that's gone. They're saying 1 in hopes that the players are okay with it. And this extends my fear that I had on the earlier stream of because they keep moving the goalposts. First is no voluntary workouts. Then there's no training camp. Then there's delayed camp. Then there's no Hall of Fame game. Then there's pushback on the start date. Then there's no 4 preseason games. We'll do 2. So everybody can have a home game. Then there's no 2 preseason games. There's only 1. And that's being proposed to the point to where they might, next thing we're going to hear at 6:00 today or tomorrow, we've agreed on 1 preseason game or we've canceled preseason altogether. And the way that things are going, preseason might be canceled altogether. Then they're going to say we'll do the 21-day startup period for the players. Then they're going to have a 21-day startup period, and they're going to start up. And next thing you know, we're pushing back the start date. Instead of the first week of August, of September, now we may be doing the first week of October. This is what we hope doesn't happen, but gosh, man, they need to hurry up and make these Power Ranger suits so these guys can go play. It's just not looking good. It's the inevitable. Unfortunately, they are just postponing as much as they can. I know. And a part of them is waiting on the NBA to go ahead and get cracking and see the criticism or if it all works out for them. Because the least amount of criticism the NBA has, it'll encourage them to move forward more and more. But if the NBA becomes a train wreck and players start getting it while they're there, it's going to make it even worse for the NFL that doesn't even have a bubble. Tons of players, coaches, and personnel guys will want to play because they need it, but the stronger and louder voices want against it because they don't need it. Hell, college players don't have preseason. I agree. Somebody said TD don't text and drive. Oh man, yeah, don't do it at home, guys. The kids don't try this at home. This is frustrating, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I need football. I needed to go ahead and come on, entertain the American people, and maybe they'll stay home. Maybe they'll be more engaged in staying home. This will actually favor everybody staying home. This would do it, man. Gosh, man. They just need to play. If they get sick, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's easy from where you are reloaded, but some people don't feel that way. I don't feel that way, honestly, because if it was me on that field, I'm not going to take that risk for my family. Knowing that, especially if someone at home has an underlying health condition and they wouldn't survive it, there's a higher chance they wouldn't. I wouldn't want to put my family at risk like that. This definitely favors the veterans getting playing time early. Yes, it does. Whoever you get a house, TD, make sure you don't have HOA. Corona is like a worsened flu. No fans in stadium. With sports opening up will make more stay home and stop the spread of the virus. No, I agree, but no. It'll encourage people to stay home if they have something to stay home for. Like all the football heads, like think about it. The NFL said, all right, all games will be played at a neutral site. Here's the place it'll be played. We're going to bring teams in. We're going to have games every day of the week. 2 games. On Monday, we're going to have a game at 6 p.m. to 9. And then we're going to have a game on the West Coast from 9 to 12. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing. Saturday, all day. 11 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 11. Sunday, same schedule as Saturday. So everybody gets to watch every team. People would watch more games than other teams. Who's playing Monday? Have a round-the-clock schedule. People would watch the games. You'll have people entertained in the evening every day. And on Saturdays and Sundays, the real football heads will be all down for it. They would be down for it. Stadium on the East Coast, a stadium in the middle of the country, a stadium on the West Coast, a stadium down south, and a stadium up north. TD, you're about to lose it. That's not going to happen. Well, if it don't happen, it don't happen. I'm just saying. They would get a lot of ratings. All the fans that like their team will tune in, and then you'll have more fans tuning in. They already competing with ratings on Sunday when 3, 4, 5 teams are playing, 10 teams are playing at the same time. Think about it. They didn't have to compete with each other's views. The ratings would go through the roof. Then they'll be able to recoup a lot of that money that they thought that they would lose. They would recoup a lot of that money. They would make more money than they ever made if they did that. Games every day of the week, and none of them overlap each other. You're always going to get the normal fan base for that team that plays. If I'm a Dolphins fan and we play on Tuesday, Dolphins fans going to be watching anyway. But now you got everybody else who ain't watching their game while your game going on. A lot more people tuning in to the Dolphins versus the Patriots play because it's the only NFL game on. They will make more money than they ever made, man. But I'm just saying, man, they got to figure it out. They got to figure out a way to play and make it safe. That's simple, man. But it is what it is, y'all. This is what's going on. NFL proposing only one preseason game at this point. The truth about what's going on is that the players don't even want that. And they also want an acclimation period of 21 days. to where they could just work out, blah, 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 and then start. They don't want to go straight into camp. That's what they don't want. They don't want to go straight into camp next week. They don't want that. They want an acclimation period of just coming into facilities, working out, and doing all of that. They do not want to practice next week. TD, do you think the fans should be in the stadium or no fans? I say no fans, but at the same time, where would they get the momentum and things from? Yeah, I think listen, I'm at this point reloaded that I understand the bigger picture, and I'm not saying anybody who disagrees with me doesn't understand the bigger picture because I don't want you to get mad at me. But my bigger picture, at the end of the day, at some point, we got to move on. The risk is going to be there regardless. The risk is going to be there regardless. The risk is going to be there. And people who go to the game, they already understand the risk. Nobody's going to a football game saying there's no risk. Everybody knows about COVID. The awareness is unquestioned. It's a risk that they take. And I understand us saying, but we all have to be safe so that we don't give it to other people. Losing battle. You can't get these people to put their mask on. It's the truth. You can't even get them to put their mask on. The real fight needs to be in situations where people are being forced to go back to work versus making the employer to make it work friendly from them to maybe work from home. That's the real fight. What people's choices are to put themselves at risk are their choice. I'm at a point now, I'm done. Stop infringing on it. That's their choice. The real fight is for the people that aren't being given choices, like our teachers being mandated to return to work. That's the real fight. Our teachers that are being mandated to return to work for the school year, who have no choice, so they lose their livelihood for their family. They're being forced. Come take this risk or have no livelihood for your family. That's the real fight. Those are the people we should be fighting for. Those situations. But whether somebody wants to not adhere to social distancing and go out and do this or do that, at this point, listen, it's their choice now. Only thing I care about are for those who aren't being given a choice. James Griffin said, you're on point. This doesn't favor the teams that are implementing new players, Chan Gailey's offense, etc. The offensive line situation scares me the most. Yes. There's plenty of things that's just as scary on this roster, but I get your point on the O-line. I get it, man. I get it. It's ridiculous, man. One moment. So TE anytime soon? Tight end anytime soon? What's TE? What's up, Miles Johnson? Alex, what's TE? Sometimes I'll be behind, man. Life has to go on. It definitely does. I'm past that. Again, it's all the people who don't have a choice. Yeah, tight end's coming soon, bro. We need hard-hitting safety, of course. What's up, everyone? What up, Rock? Y'all hit that like button on your way in. We're trying to get over 200 likes on this video. We got 84 people watching right now, 54 likes. You can always contribute and do your part by hitting that like button. I appreciate you if you do. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. We got to move on, in my opinion. I'm over it. Only, like I said, the only people that I think the fight should be for are the people who don't have a choice, who have to take that type of risk to maintain their livelihood. Shout out to my girl, Insanity5 in the building, man. I know you've been busy out there, man. I know you've been busy. Beating a dead horse at this point. Yeah, I know, man. Oh, all is great, Explorer. Thanks for checking in, man. Thanks for checking in. Now it is an advantage because our defense may be acclimated a lot sooner. And I think it's going to give us an advantage for all these stagnant offenses early in the season, especially with what some would say the roughest part of our schedule being early on. New England, Buffalo, right straight out the gate with all the things that they're figuring out. That might be a good thing for our defense and our team overall. But I'm going to be honest, we won't know until we see it. There's a lot of situations in this league right now where a lot of teams have advantages and a lot of them have disadvantages due to the circumstances of what's going on. Think about it. The Chiefs probably by far have the biggest advantage over everyone. They haven't lost that much. A lot of their core is still there. Coming off of a Super Bowl, same system, same quarterback, a lot of it's the same. A lot of it's the same. There's certain teams that aren't even bothered right now. Certain teams aren't even bothered. And as the season goes, they're good enough to win rough, non-gelling games right now anyway. And as the season goes, they'll automatically get that. It might even be a team this year that's in the playoffs that come on and start beating up big teams because they just started to get their rhythm in the playoffs. They just got what they're trying to do and understand it. It's going to be a weird season. Teams that definitely shouldn't win might be winning. Teams that definitely should lose. I mean, it's crazy. This might be a weird season. Patriots still have Bill Belichick. They not going to be hurt. On offense, that may be different. Let me tell you something. See, Belichick type system is also about repetition. They want to instill what they're trying to do in these players' heads, and they do it from day one. But having a shorter time period opens up the opportunity for more lapses in decision making. More lapses. So we'll see, man. Want to give everyone a Finsanity Monday today? Of course. You already know what time it is. Hit me up. Please hit me up. Hit me up. We can do the Finsanity Monday. I was going to do a TD Reels talk tonight, so we can do that too afterwards or before, just depending. Maybe before we do Finsanity Monday because TD Real Talk be going on for 4 hours. We be riding out on TD's Real Talk, man. It'd be like 4 hours straight. 4 hours straight. My wife says she want to come on TD's Real Talk and have a conversation with me about this whole entanglement thing. Oh man, so we gonna see what we do, man. DD's were going to be in the playoffs. She watch. Buffalo Bills and Patriots, Dolphins for division. We winning it all, man. Things should go to the empty space, but I can't find anything. My bad, guys. 1 second. Man, yes, let's talk entanglement. We're going to do that on TD's Real Talk, man. Watching Curtis Weaver's tape, is it just me or does that cat look like a young Warren Sapp? Love your takes, brother. Listen, he can move. That's what I love about him. He can move. He got that size, can move. At the end of the day, it's easy to compare him to what he looked like, but you know me, he got to come out on the field and show it. All right. Miami has the highest paid cornerbacks this year, right? Yes, we do. In combination, Dolphins division campus. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm still not giving our team a pass. I want something special. Period. Whatever we do this year, it got to be special. No excuses. No excuses. We need something special from this team this year. And I'm talking Super Bowl. I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm talking Super Bowl. I want something that special. Well, let's be realistic. That is realistic. If there's a possibility, then it's realistic. Period. I love Finsanity sent this to me. I love that she sent it because it's so factual. Bringing in defensive guys who know what Flores wants to run was a great offseason move, even more now than ever. That's true. That's why I said our defense, man, we might be ahead of the curve. We might be ahead of the curve. Our defense may come in doing what they got to do day one. We literally might be ahead of the curve. I'm excited about it, man. Our defense is going to hold us down early. Guys, with all of these issues, our defense might be good enough to get us in the playoffs alone. Our defense might be good enough to get us in the playoffs alone. And of course, not alone. Offense is going to help as they, come along, but our defense is probably good enough to keep us in games and give us opportunities to compete. It's just a matter of what our offense is going to do, what our O-line is going to do. That's right, FinFam. Who knows? We can have a number 1D when it's all said and done. TD, did we get mostly everyone signed who we drafted so far? I know we did, but just checking. I want everyone in camp since we don't have OTAs. Yes, everybody will be in camp, bro. We good. Our backfield best last year, Laird, Gaskins this year, Breda, Jordan Howard. Our backfield wasn't good last year. Our best backfield last year was actually Mark Walton. Are we speaking facts? Our best backfield last year was actually Mark Walton. He got cut for getting in trouble. And I think those charges have been dropped, but he still got cut. Laird did not do well running the ball, nor did Gaskins. When you really go look at it, Laird averaged 2 point something per rush and like 2-2, if I'm not mistaken. So at the end of the day, man, this year, Breda, Jordan Howard, and whoever steps up, I just hope that our O-line gives them more opportunities. Gaskins did good when he got his opportunity. I agree, Rip, but I'm starting to realize you need a viable sample size to really gauge whether somebody did good or not. We should know that now. Balaj did amazing 2 years ago, but the sample size was small. Laird and Gaskins has a smaller sample size than what Balaj had when he was behind Ajayi. He had a much bigger sample size. Now we're going to sit here and clap our hands for guys who had an even smaller sample size. Adrian Gray, yes, Balaj was amazing behind Ajayi. Averaged more yards per carry. Every time he got the rock, he made something happen. He just didn't get many opportunities. The guy may have gotten 6 rushes a game, but he was still putting up 40 yards, 30 yards. Do the math on that. That's why I was raving about him last year. I wasn't saying he was great. I just said he deserves more reps now because he's proven that he deserves it. Go look at the numbers. He averaged more than Ajayi. Yes. And that was with Ajayi's Big games, 200 rushing yard games. I mean, besides the Minnesota game with the 75-yard TD, I don't remember anything he did, but I forgot. Because you're not going to remember 5 yards of carry. It's the same thing with Frank Gore. When Frank Gore was a Miami Dolphin, Frank Gore had an amazing season, in my opinion, because it was 4 yards, 7 yards, maybe 3, 6, he kept getting chunks. But you don't remember Frank Gore for the 30 or the 40-yard rush. There were people arguing with me last season, Frank Gore was trash. What were you watching? This man actually made us decent that year by getting first downs. Frank Gore allowed us to have 2nd and 3s, something we hadn't seen in forever. And with a terrible O-line. So you never notice the guy that's getting 4 and 5 at a time. We all get caught up on the 75-yard run or the 200-yard game. But Frank Gore was consistently putting up 80 yards in a game, 90 yards or 70 yards, but they were impactful. They were giving us 3rd and 1 opportunities, 2nd and 4. Something we was never used to. We used to 3rd and 12, 3rd and 10, at best 3rd and 7. Frank Gore changed that. That's the type of running back you want, who gonna find something and fall forward to always put you in the best position possible and not go for the home run over the guarantee. That was Drake's problem. He would go for the home run, 30-yard run, bounced outside if he can get around the corner, over the guaranteed 5 yards straight ahead in traffic. And yeah, he may bounce that 30-yarder once every 10 times he tried. And then even on that drive is probably a punt. That's why they didn't fall in love with Drake. He has talent, but he bad decision making. Bad decision making. And then he started to prove himself to have bad ball security at times. We fall in love with players like Drake. Oh, Drake just bounced out for 30. He had to be perfect in stiff arming and getting around that one guy. Luckily, he does it once every 10 times and we get excited. When he could have kept the first downs going by going after the 4 yards inside that's right there. That is terrible running back play. That is terrible decision making. 4 yards sitting right in front of you, but you want to go one-on-one with a talented linebacker and try to bounce it outside and get 2 yards or -1. That's why they didn't love Drake. That's why I wasn't sold on Drake. That's why I said Balaj deserved more opportunities, because Balaj during that time would go for the 4 and 5 yards instead of trying to bounce it out. That's why you never noticed it. Go look at Balaj's stats. Go look at them. Not last year. We know what happened last year. Go look at them before that. They weren't sexy, but they were productive. Frank Gore was productive. Wasn't sexy. Frank Gore wasn't shaking people and running all down the field for 40, 50, and 60 on big runs. Frank Gore was getting you 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes 12 at a time. Those were his big runs. 12-yard runs. 12-yard runs was his breakout runs, but he kept doing it. Y'all remember the Chicago Bears game where Albert Wilson was catching all the bubble screens for touchdowns? We always talk about Albert Wilson in that game, but we ain't talk about Frank Gore, how he just painted a beautiful picture in that game, especially when it got gritty at the end of the game and all the bubble screens were done. Frank Gore, the one who led us all the way down there. We marched down the field 70 yards, and about 35 of them was Frank Gore's. First down after first down after first down. Just for Drake to fumble on the 1 yard line. And when they went down the field and they missed the field goal, we took it back down with Frank Gore running the ball 5 and 6 yards at a time. First downs are more important than these explosive running backs that rattles 60, 70-yard chunks. First downs are way more important, man. I ain't gonna keep on going on that, man. But the facts speak for themselves. Go check it out. Go look at the validity of what I'm saying to y'all. And that's why Balaj deserved more carries. And I still believe last year O-line was just terrible. But we'll see, man. This TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans, just brought you another one. The NFL proposing one preseason game. Talked about the truth that's going on with all of that. It's really the players that's pushing a lot of this delay, which rightfully so. They have every reason to. But it is what it is. It definitely hurts the Dolphins, but on defense, it probably might give us an advantage that many people don't see. So if you didn't watch the whole video, go check out those points that I made. This is TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. We're trying to get 200 likes on every video. And thank you to everybody who's donated to the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or through the Super Chat. Love you, love you, love you, man. This your boy TD. I will see y'all later. Peace. We out. Go, go, Dolphin Rangers.